Hi, good day. This is episode 4, and on this episode, we'll walk you through on how to execute the task you've automated. So, remember at the beginning of this video, we had automated a task which is create a bot to visit nairaland.com and then have this bot to click on a couple of pages, after which this bot should make a YouTube search. Sorry, Google search. Now, on this episode 4, I will show you on how to run those activities you had initially automated. On Okecbot, there are about three kind of executors. We have the free executor, the random executor, and the orderly executor. Now, if you're coming in for a free trial, you can request for a free trial on any of the random executor or orderly executor. The customer support will give you 15 minutes access to use each of these two. However, the free executor is always free to use. And on this video, I'll start with the free executor, and as time goes on, I would lapse it down to the orderly executor. So let's start with the free executor. Clicking on the free executor, you are presented with a dashboard. This dashboard goes up from the top down to the bottom. At this top, this is the amount of bots you currently have displayed on your account. So since this is a free account, I have a maximum of 100 bots being displayed. So this simply means I have 100 bots in view. Now this bot include 11 iPhones, 4 Mac, 53 Android and 32 Windows. So in a nutshell, these are the devices I currently have within my bots. Right over here is your location. Now by default, whatever proxy server you currently use would be exactly what the bot would use. However, you can decide to change your location to some other thing. So let's say for instance, I'm going to open one of these bots and I want you to see exactly what I mean. I'm going to tick on this bot and I would hit on this on button, and when the button comes up, I'll click I confirm. Now this will take a couple of seconds, after which the bot would turn on. Now this is the bot and the bot is currently on. Now at this point in time, I can head straight right now to check what location is currently being accessed on this bot. So I'm going to whoar.net, and if I go to whoar.net, you're going to see it would show my current location. At the moment I'm in Abuja, but it's currently showing Katsina, Nigeria. This is because sometimes MTN and Airtel, they take you to another state and give you another state IP. So for instance, I'm currently in Nigeria right now, Abuja, but I'm seeing Katsina, Nigeria. But in a nutshell, this is currently showing you that this bot itself will be coming as a Nigerian. So whatever this bot does, wherever this bot performs that action, would see this bot as one being, from the location of Nigeria, Katsina. I'm going to switch off that bot. So to do that, I'll click on this active over here, and if I click on the active, you notice that the green button that was once green is now red. You would also notice that the entire list has reduced. Initially there used to be a very long list over here. These are like the list of bots that were currently inactive, but the moment I switch from inactive to active, you would realize that those bots that are inactive no longer appear. However, the bot that is active, which is this one, appears. So I'm going to drag this bot over here. This is the bot currently being viewed. I'm going to select the bot and I'm going to switch it off by clicking on this red button. Now before I do that, I want you to pay deep attention to something. I want you to understand that the bot gives you a good record of how many bots you have turned on and off. For instance, I can currently see I have 99 bots over here, but should I switch over to my active bots, you would see that now it has changed to 1. Should I come back again, it has changed to 99. So in a nutshell, I have a total number of 100 bots, and I currently have 99 inactive and one of them is active, which is this bot. So I'm going to switch off this bot. The bot has been terminated. Now, just to let you understand how to launch a bot again, remember I said that by default, every bot uses the proxy server you created, but if you don't create a proxy server, it would use your local network. Like for instance, you can see local network here, local network here. That was because when we created these bots, on the section of create bots, where it asked us to put in a proxy server, a proxy username, and all this, we left everything blank, just like in episode 3. So if you don't put anything within this section, it would use your local network, which currently I'm using MTN. So that's why you can actually see MTN being displayed. However, if I had put in a proxy server, it would use that location. Now for most people, they would want to give a specific bot a particular IP address, which is a proxy server, or they could simply do what we call create a proxy chain. Now I'll teach you how to do this on episode 7, but currently this is for a broader topic. But what this simply does in a nutshell is that it allows you to create different locations and you can actually have them saved. So for instance, I have a location I had already created before now. The name of this location is tests, and this location uses a proxy server. If I decide to launch this location right now, you're going to see that I'm currently using a web share for this. This is the port, this is the username, and this is the password. So basically, I'm currently using a proxy share IP address, and that particular IP address is what is currently saved here. Now I can choose to add as many servers as possible. If I choose to, let's say, put in another, this one is currently Accra, Ghana. I could decide to put in another one which is still in Accra, Ghana. Or maybe instead of using this particular server, which is this IP, I could decide to put in another IP, port, username and password, and add it up to the chain. So what this simply means is that I can add as many proxy servers as possible over here, and when I'm done, I can save all these proxy servers as a name. For instance, I've saved this current proxy server, which is Africa / Ghana. I saved it with the name called tests. Now let's head back to the executor, which is the free executor. Now I took out some time to explain to you that whenever you turn on a bot, by default it uses whatever location you had used in creating this bot. On our own case, we had used the local network, which is we left that proxy server empty, so therefore it's going to be using our local network. However, if I want to change from that local network to something else, I could tick here that says default location and choose what I want. So you can see that the default location is this, but I can change this to tests. Now I've changed this to tests. Now this simply means that in as much as the proxy server here is showing local network, meaning it should use my network, just because I already have this changed from default location into a test location, it would no longer use my default location, but instead it would use this proxy chain over here. Now I'm going to turn on this bot over here, which is this one, and that was exactly the same bot we had turned on before, and I'm going to turn it on again. This time around, you're going to notice something different. The bot would come up, but unlike before where it showed Castina, it would no longer show Castina again, but it would show whatever location that was provided by that IP server, which is that proxy server. So I'm going to head over now and I'll type who.are.net. I'm going to notice that this time around the location is going to be different. Like you can see right now, the location is currently at Netherlands. Now remember that initially this bot used to be at Nigeria Castina, but because I had changed the default location into test, which is what I used in saving that IP, I'm now able to launch this location or this bot using the location Netherlands. Now I can go back to switching off this bot. So I'm going to tick the bot once again and I will switch it off. Now what I have just taught you so far has just been how to switch on a bot and switch off a bot, along with how to actually give this bot an IP, which is an IP you had already created in a chain. But on the next section, which is this done section, I will show you the advanced part of all this. So remember when I said when you create a bot using a bot family. For instance, this bot is called Hina, Hina. So what this means to me is just Hina, right? So I wanted to load a YouTube channel. She does kitchen stuff. She cooks, like she does like this kitchen videos where she gets to teach people how to cook all kinds of food. So I wanted to teach her how to do this. So we created a bot family called Hina, and we created about 3 devices. Now each and every one of these devices you see right here actually mimics a real device. So this one, for instance, it mimics an LG, this one mimics a Xiaomi, and this one mimics a Samsung A51. So they all practically try to become these devices by cloning them as much as possible. Now, moving next, I would walk you through on how to change to other families. So let's say I don't want to use this here. I could click on this option right here, and from here I could change to other families. For instance, I have a YouTube NG family. This is where I have lots of bots, and every single one of these bots practically is under the bot family YouTube NG, which is YouTube NG. Now you can see there are lots of them, 278, 279. That was because they were actually from 001 to up to this extent, but I had already deleted a whole lot of them. So in a nutshell, you can create as many bot family as possible, and each bot family will have so many devices in them. They would all share the same time zone. If you had given them an IP address when you created them, they would all share the same proxy server. Now to switch from one family to the other, all you have to do is to click on this department over here and look for the name used in saving the bot family. So for instance, the name I used in saving Hina, which is the bot family Hina, was Hina. However, the bots inside this Hina could be 001, 002, and 003. I can actually switch and navigate around different bot families. Now you're fully understood this, we're going to make our next move into letting you know how to send instructions to any bot you have turned on. So for instance, I don't have any bots turned on at the moment. So if I head back to my active bots, you can see I currently have 0 active bots. This means none of my bots is currently on. If I head over to the inactive, you would see that I have 100 bots that are currently inactive. This is because every single one of the bots I created are currently inactive, and I've decided not to turn any of them on because I had switched off the last one. So this time around, I'm going to turn on these bots. I could decide to turn one specifically, or I could tick on this menu right, and it turns everything on. So ticking on this checks every single thing. If I head over to some other section, I could also tick everything if that pleases me, but I'm only going to be working with one bot family, which is this Hina bot family. Now if you tick multiple bots just like this, you can turn every single one of them on. Now I wouldn't want to use an IP address for this. I could decide to use an IP, and it would give me a different location for each and every one of the bots, or I could decide to still leave it the way it is. So let us maybe let's try it out with an IP. So remember that I had the default location here before. I'm going to change this into my tests location, and I'm going to switch this on. Now it's going to be turning on each of the bots. The first bot just came online. The second bot will be coming online soonest. And the third bot will be coming online soonest. So from what you can see right here, we have a total of 3 bots. So this is like 3 bots we currently have at our custody. The bot 001, 002, and 003. We can also see the feedback shows that every one of these bots is running. Now, the next step is to click on active. You can only send commands to bots that are currently active. So for instance, these 3 bots, they are currently on and they're currently active. If I refresh this page with Ctrl arrow, you'll be able to clearly see that we currently have 97 bots turned off, which is inactive. And when we go over to the active section, you can clearly see that we have about 3 bots that are currently active. Now on each of these active bots, you can have them perform a task. Now this task should be what you have already programmed before now. Remember at the beginning of this tutorial, we had created a task to visit Naira land and then to make a Google search. Now this is the time to have those tasks being performed by a bot. So I will teach you on how to do that. The first thing to do is to identify the bot you would want to turn on. Each and every single one of these bots has a name, and they all understand what their name is. However, looking at them right now, you might not be able to tell which is which. But I'm going to send a signal to, let's say, this first bot. So I've ticked this first bot, and the next step is to click on the task I would want this bot to perform. Over here is called executables. This refers to the task we have created, and so I can send a task to any of the bots. At the moment, I already have one task over here, and this is the only task that I have. So this task was basically the task we had created to visit Nairaland and then a Google search. So I'm going to leave it at this latest task. At this other section, there are two ways you can launch a task. You can make them go orderly, which means from the top to the bottom, the way you had programmed them on that activity chain, or you can have each and every single one of these bots shuffle the task and execute them in a way that pleases them. It's going to make more sense to you when I send the signal. So I've clicked on this latest task, and I would choose this execute as received. Now this execute as received means you should start with the first item on the task, execute it, and move over to the next one. This shuffle and execute means you should bring out the task, shuffle it where it changes the order of operation. This could help if you want to be launching so many tasks at the same time and you don't want to get caught on detection systems. You can have it shuffle lots of tasks at the same time. So even if they all perform the same tasks, since they don't do it at the exact particular order, you get to evade bot detection systems. So just to demonstrate what we're doing right here, I would use execute as received. Now once I tick the execute as received, you can see that it's showing me the name of the bot that would be executing this task. Now I would click on confirm. Now the moment I click on confirm, it's going to broadcast that particular task to that bot. You can see this is the bot. It's saying, "Hi Dan Okechukwu, I am bot 001. Hina 001. I'll be visiting Nairaland. When I successfully load the link, I would mimic a human being for." It gave us a couple of seconds to spend. Now this is the bot currently going to nairaland.com. Just the way we had programmed it. It will visit nairaland.com. It would move around the website, and after a while, it will go specifically to that particular thing we had told it to click on, and then to click on it. So just to let you know that the S part is quite device centric. This means that we tried to mimic what Nairaland looks like on a mobile phone, and then we copied the X part, and then we're now going to click. So now we told you to click on autos. Watch what will happen. It will go and click on that autos. It will go to Nairaland right now, and it will click on that exact place we had told it to click on, which is the autos. Okay, it's clicked on general. It shouldn't have done that. It should click on autos. This could only be possible if the device we try to mimic is completely different from this. I think what we tried to create was an iPhone 14, and so I think the dimension is quite different, but you get the point. It goes through that specific S part and it clicks on what you want it to click on. Now you can see it's also showing you that it has been told to click on some other S parts, which would be the next step to take. So within few seconds, it will look for that particular S part and click on it. Now it has clicked on it back, and this time around it has gone back to the home page. We only told it to click on two S parts, so it would stop at this two S parts. Now I want to also note this, that the visit website doesn't accurately click on S parts at the moment, but a part should be coming in to specifically click on anything you want it to click on exactly. So at the moment this particular one has a little bug on it, but the navigate website, which was a superior version that is currently on pro, clicks on a specific expert. However, this is also to note that irrespective of that, we're also going to be adding up the exact experts being clicked on the free version, so you can actually have the bot click on exactly what you wanted to click on. Now at the moment it's saying that it can't make a Google search because it doesn't have access to the primary pro. So at this particular point in time, I won't be able to perform this task because I have not gotten access to the primary pro. So I can only execute this if I have actually paid for a subscription. But I don't think it will do justice if I tell you about the features of this software and not have you see it actually make Google search. Now, I would switch off the bot, which is this bot. Currently the bot is turned on. I will switch it off. Now the essence of switching it off is so I can elevate my access to use the primary pro, and this is so I'll be able to launch that particular task. So if you have actually paid for the software, the moment you make payment, you'll be given like extra limits to use the bots. For instance, I only have about 97, which is a total of 100 bots on this machine. It means I can have more than 100 bots over here. However, if I'm a paid customer, I would be able to have more than 100 bots. I would be able to make Google searches along with amongst other things. So I'm going to get my account upgraded to premium and then show you that. But before I do that, I would continue with the task I was about showing you, which is how to execute task using the free executor. So at the moment, you can clearly see that we still have two bots turned on. This is the first bot and this is the second bot. One of these bots should be 002 and the other one should be 003. Now I don't know which specifically is which, but if I tick on the both of them and I send a signal to them, they will both receive the signal and identify themselves before executing the action. This is bot 003 and this is bot 002. Just like I said, if you do not specifically click on shuffle, they will both basically do the exact same thing. At the moment, I can see we're being presented with Cloudflare, and this is because we could be using a proxy. In fact, you only get to see this when you're using a proxy. So if I head over to whoor.net just to confirm, I think my suspicions would be validated. I'm currently using an IP. So just to let you know, if you use a bad proxy, it will always run you into trying to verify if you are, a human being. That is because majority of these proxy servers are usually being abused by other people, and so when you finally try to use them, because the IP has been blacklisted, they will start telling you to verify if you're a human being. So you can clearly see that the location here is showing Rome, and the location here is showing, this is showing Italy, Rome, and this is showing Seychelles. So this was why I couldn't automate that tax on Nairaland. Nairaland uses Cloudflare, and so in as much as the first tax was successfully executed, the second ones were held because of the IP. So I'm going to switch off this bot and I will make a video again, still on the execution of bots on episode 5, but this time around I'm going to be executing the bots using Pro Access, and you'll be able to see what the Pro Access does amongst the free and how you can also have access to these other Pro executors. So see you on episode 5, talking about how to make Google searches and how to also use other executors that comes along with the Okecbot Pro.